The topic of today's video is how much you need to have so that you can live a comfortable life in Malta. Now I know that this video might be very subjective, considering that some people would like to spend more, some people would like to save, some people would like to live in a penthouse with a sea view, some people would like to live in the most affordable area of the island. However, I want to make this video as like a bullet points so that you guys can get kind of like an average, let's say a mid-range of what to expect to spend in Malta. If this is your first time bumping into my channel, my name is Alex and I've been creating videos about Malta for the past 5 years. I believe it's been now over 500 videos are on my YouTube channel, everything related to tourism in Malta, expats life in Malta. So if this is something that you might be interested in, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't want this video to be longer than 12 minutes, so I really want to go straight to the point. I have my phone here next to me and I have all the bullet points, but I'll give you a more brief idea of what to expect when it comes to the cost of living in Malta in 2025. Now, to start off, if you're watching this and you're about to move to Malta, I'm pretty sure that you're even wondering what is the budget that you should have so that you can start your life in Malta. The most expensive thing that people are paying in Malta, it's actually the rent. But how does it go for a newcomers? When you arrive in Malta, if you find an apartment through a real estate agency, you need to pay the first month of your rent to the landlord, the same amount again to the landlord, which is your security deposit that it's refundable back to you after your contract is finished. However, you need to give back the apartment in the same state that you received it so that you will be eligible to get your security deposit back. And then you need to pay 50% of your rent as an amount to the real estate agency, which is basically their commission because they found you this apartment, which is non-refundable. An additional 18% VAT on the 50% that you have paid to the real estate agency. Now, if this doesn't make sense, I'll break it down to you as an example. If you find an apartment in Malta that it's 1,000 euros, you need to pay 1,000 euros to the landlord, another 1,000 euros to the landlord as a security deposit, which is refundable, which is already 2,000 euros, 500 euros as a commission to the real estate agency, which is 2,500, and 18% on the 500 euros, I think it's like 90 euros. So the total is going to be 2,590 euros. This is the fixed amount that you definitely need to pay as soon as you find the property in Malta. Now, a tip for you guys that are coming over to Malta without a job opportunity. Please pay attention that most of the companies in Malta are paying at the end of the month, on the last Friday of the month. So if you find a job opportunity at the end of the month, you need to wait until the end of next month so that you can receive your first pay. Please pay attention to this because some expats, when they're moving to Malta, they end up living on the island for the first 2 months without any income. And of course, the costs are running. But which are these costs? Let's begin. As I said, I have my phone over here as a reminder of all the bullet points that I'm going to talk about. So the first one that I have, it's actually the rent, which I already mentioned. Now, how much is rent in Malta? I wish there was a formula that I can just tell you it's a sticked amount of 1,200 or 2,000. Unfortunately, it all depends on the area where you are living. And here I have several tips for you guys. If you would like to live in the central part of Malta, such as Sliema and St. Julian's, please be prepared that you're going to pay an obnoxious amount of money for a very good and comfortable apartment. For example, a one-bedroom apartment in Sliema in a good area, in a nice and modern building, can easily cost you from 1,200 to 2,000 euros. However, for this price range in Melilla, which is in the north part of Malta, you can easily find a beautiful penthouse with a swimming pool. Yes, it might be 2 bedrooms or it might be even a 3-bedroom apartment with a sea view, as I said, with a swimming pool, with a jacuzzi. To have something like this in Sliema, you definitely have to pay from 2,800 euros onwards. I mean, even for 2,800 euros, I don't think you can find a penthouse with a swimming pool and a sea view. This is usually from 3,500 onwards. Now, I know that I'm jumping into so many different prices, but I hope that you guys are making some notes of what I'm saying. You can always check even the real estate agencies of what they're showing on their websites, of what type of properties they have and how much they cost. But please pay attention that here in Malta, most of the time when you call real estate agencies and you say that you found the, let's say, property number 7543 and you say, is it available? They'll tell you, no, sorry, it's not available, but we have something else to offer. I mean, why is it still there on the website anyway? Like some obnoxious amount of money, but if you would like to live in Gozo from the other side, Gozo is way more expensive, and over there you can easily find even a one-bedroom apartment for 600 or 700 euros. In Malta, this is nearly impossible. So in Malta, the cheapest accommodation as a one-bedroom apartment that you can find, it might be 800 euros. So here I have the first point for you guys, that a rent in Malta for a single person, if you would like to go to the lowest, like a studio or a one-bedroom apartment, and not with a sea view, you definitely need to pay 800 euros. Now, what about the utilities when it comes to the water and the electricity? Guys, I have so many friends in Malta and they're all paying different amounts. People that are living on their own in the south, in the central, penthouses, one-bedroom apartments, three-bedroom apartments, whatsoever. And roughly per month, a single person in Malta can pay from 40 euros water and electricity up to 120 euros per month. This is kind of a range. It all depends on how much you're consuming, whether your AC is on non-stop. Speaking of, I need to switch it on. Sorry about that, but I'm boiling up when the AC is off, and when the AC is on, I can't stand it. Now, for the other side, we have the other fixed cost, which is definitely internet at home and internet on your phone or a SIM card. How much do they cost? You guys can do bundles. For example, you can go to Epic, you can go to Melita, you can go to Go. I'm not sponsored by any, so you can just check any of them. Which one I'm using? It's Epic, so Epic, make sure to give me a call. I'll tell you about me, I pay 35 euros per month for a postpaid plan, which includes unlimited internet, unlimited calls, unlimited SMS, and I think I have 30 gigabytes within the European Union. And it's a high-speed internet as well. However, you do have cheaper plans, which they cost you like 19 euros per month, but of course the speed of the internet is way more slower. At home, I pay, I think, around 65 euros for internet at home, which is a high speed as well, for my TV, my landline, and I have another phone that came into the package as a postpaid. I think it was 60 or 70. Honestly, I have no idea how much I'm paying. But roughly, let's say for if you would like to have all of this at home, you need to pay from 45 euros to 75 euros. What about groceries? How much do people usually pay for groceries in Malta? I have done many surveys and many other videos about the cost of living in Malta, and roughly how much people are spending in Malta for groceries. It starts from the range of 200 euros per month if you would like to live like on a very, very, very tight budget, and it goes up to 600 euros if you are a single person. I'm talking about single people. Food that can be even organic, and it can be bought from nice supermarkets. Speaking about this, here I have another tip for you guys. There are many, 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 many supermarkets around the island. I will just mention few. Hashtag not sponsored by any of them. We have Greens, we have Wellbees, we have Lidl, of course. What else we have? We have Pavi, we have Pama. And then we have the local stores like convenience shops like Dave's, Convenience itself, Maple. These are little shops that you will find in pretty much all the towns around Malta. So when it comes to buying your groceries, my humble opinion is, depending on the area where you live, go and do your grocery shopping in Lidl so that you can find 70 to 80% of the items on a lower scale, on a lower price range, because other supermarkets, they might charge even more. And also, it makes a very big difference on the area where you live, because there are supermarkets and local grocery shops in St. Julian's and in Sliema that the same items are having a price point of 20, 30, 40, 80, 90 cents, or even €1 more. So when you are in Malta, please make sure to check the surroundings of the area where you're gonna live so that you know in which supermarket to go so that you can save. Also, I mentioned all the local shops like Dave's or Convenience or Maple. I don't know about Convenience and about Maple, but I know about Dave's that they have like a loyalty program. So the more you spend over there, you are getting your points back, and these points are redeemed as cash. So you can easily make like €10 in return so that you can use those €10 off on your next bill. What about transportation in Malta? Oh my god, this can be a long topic, because I'm looking from my, like me for example, I drive and I am always in my car. I work remotely, my work is all around the island. I'm from the south to the north daily. So I spend around 140, sometimes €150 on petrol per month. As I said, I am every single day in my car, every single day. There is, even when I go to the gym, I go with my car. So guys, I do run a lot of kilometers, or not run, drive a lot of kilometers around the island. So of course, this is more on the higher scale, I would say. But people can easily go with €100 per month on petrol if they're using the car Monday to Friday or 4 days a week. From the other side, if you do not have a car in Malta, you can use the transport. You just need to get the Talinia card, the green one, which is for residents. And I think it's like €30 to buy it, and it's a lifetime card, and you can use the ferries and the public buses in Malta and in Gozo completely for free. So these are all the prices when it comes to a single person. When it comes to a couple, it's way more affordable when a couple moves to Malta or two friends are moving to Malta rather than a single person. Why? Because of course you're going to split the costs in half. So let's say if you find an apartment that it's 1,600, each is going to pay €800 only. When it comes to the groceries, if it's a couple or if it's two friends that are going to share the groceries and cook at home, guys, you can easily go with 600 to €800 for a couple, which if you break it down in half, it's 300 to €400 a month. These are like the fixed costs that you definitely need to pay when you live in Malta, whether you are single or you're coming over as a couple. You know, it all depends on what exactly you are looking for. And it all depends whether you would like to live in a place with a sea view, if you would like to live in the central area, or if you would like to be in the outskirts, if you would like to be in the north, in the south. It all depends, guys. And the cost of living, of course, it's going to be slightly more cheaper when you are out of St. Julian's and Sliema, which are most of the time the areas where a lot of youngsters would like to move in, because then they don't need to use any transport. They can just walk because everything is on a walking distance. But this doesn't mean that if you live in the outskirts, for example, Zuri, this is where I live, we have shops that are open 24 hours. We have connections when it comes to the buses. But I already mentioned that I'm driving. So if you're wondering how long is the distance between Zuri and Sliema, it depends on the day. It starts from 20 minutes when there is no traffic, and it can go up to 35 minutes if there is traffic and peak hour, which is quite okay considering it's from one side to the other side of the island. Now, I think I'm talking a lot, but I would like just to break it down in the final points when it comes to going out, of how much you should expect to spend in Malta. A medium range restaurant, a meal for a single person, let's say if you just like to go for a pizza, it can be from €9 and it can go up to €18. Yes, I know, from 9 to 18 it's double the price, but it all depends on the area where you're going and the type of restaurants that you're sitting down. I'm just talking about pizza, guys. Ribeye in Malta, now I'm going into details about the items on the menu. Riba in Malta, you can find in some places for 28 euros, and in some places you can find it up to 45 euros. But the medium range, it's always around 32 to 33 euros. Pasta in Malta can start from 12 euros and it can go up to 18 euros. So this is kind of like the medium range restaurant on what to expect. Tickets if you would like to go to the cinema. There, I think I haven't been to a cinema for a very long time, but it's either 750 or 850 per adult. Coffee in Malta you can find from as cheap as €1.20 up to €3.50. Beer in Malta, it's roughly around €3, I believe. I don't drink alcohol for the past few months, so I really forgot how much is a glass of wine, but I know that the bottle of Prosecco in Malta, it's around 27 euros. Guys, sorry, I'm just throwing all of these items out on the table because I just want you to know. I think we can start wrapping up the video. If you're watching this and if you would like to move to Malta and if you need a one-on-one call with me, you have the link in the description of today's video where you can find my calendar link and you can book a call with me directly one-on-one so we can discuss further information. I hope I gave you some information about the cost of living in Malta in 2025. If there is anything that I might have skipped, please let me know in the comment section. I always try to answer to all of the comments, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it down below and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until I see you in my next one. Bye.